And we're back. We're reading Almost Odis by me, Dusty Thompson. I won't talk about my shirt. We'll talk about it in the next video. This one's really long. I want to make sure we get all of it in because I can only post such long videos. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you're following along, we're on page 141. The blog dated Tuesday, July 10th, 2012. Is burnt chicken really patriotic? Question mark. I apologize for the lateness of my 4th of July themed blog. I was trying to wait until my eyebrows grew back, but it was taking a long time, so I figured I might as well spill the beans. I had decided it might be fun to have a few friends over for a cookout on the 4th and celebrate as our forefathers did, or so I've been educated by beer commercials. I find it hard to believe George, Benji, and the lot partied down after their victory over the British, over the French, good Lord, that was later, over the British by hosting a kegger and burning red meat and poultry. However, the dad took hold of the idea of a barbecue like a raccoon to a penny, so off to the Walmart we went for a new grill. The previous grill was hibachi that didn't survive the fact that I forgot I had it, and left it practically hidden from view beside the central AC unit, and it rusted in the Silicon Valley rainy season, or what other people in other parts of the country call winter. We don't have seasons in California. It costs a lot. We pay extra for that. As to his grill merchant of choice, did you really think he'd go somewhere else? The man lived at the Walmart. Now he lives with the Dollar General in Vega, Texas. They don't have a Walmart. They're too small. If Crate and Barrel offered a grill, I'd have purchased one in either kiwi or melon, but alas, 'twas not the case. We went to the Walmart on a Tuesday afternoon. I should have been paying more attention to what he was tossing into our buggy, but I was too busy fending off his attempts to purchase his favorite sugar-coated treats. Have you ever tried to wrestle a package of bear claws from an overly aggressive, elderly redneck in Little Guatemala while wearing pastel chinos and trying to maintain some sense of decorum so your disdain for the locals doesn't seem out of character? No? Just me? Okay. The next morning, after we laid out the various cuts and types of meat to be grilled, I reminded him we had invited exactly 4 people besides ourselves to this little shindig. There were enough hamburger patties to feed every laborer who built the Panama Canal, with enough leftovers to end world hunger if we could convince third world citizens spam as food. I left him to fire up the grill while I went to pick up our fantastic desserts, cupcakes from my new favorite bakery, Susie Cakes in Menlo Park. The blueberry pancake cupcakes are so good they ought to be illegal. They are delicious. We finally have a Susie Cakes in Long Beach. Yay! When I returned, he was dousing the charcoal with lighter fluid. When I asked him why, he said, "So it'll burn, boy. Lord, have you forgot everything I taught you?" I replied, "Of course not. I can still curse in 5 languages. The proud Thompson legacy lives." When I reminded him that the charcoal was called matchlight, and it was manufactured to light with a match, he wanted to know how I knew such things. My pointing to the words match and light on the bag was deemed hateful, and I was asked to retire to the kitchen with the other women folk, meaning, I guess, Lulu and the ghost. Before I could turn to get inside, I felt a whoosh of heat that singed my eyebrows from behind, do you hear me? It was heat on a Dante's Inferno level scale, like backpacking on the sun, y'all. After he put out the fire, which had consumed his most treasured Tractor Supply hat, I asked him what happened. He replied ever so innocently, "I guess I put too much lighter fluid on the charcoal." You put more lighter fluid on it? I wanted it to light. But the bag said match light. I literally pointed it out to you 10 seconds ago. What do they know about charcoal? Well, as manufacturers of said charcoal, I would say Kingsford knows just a bit more than you. Just go get the meat. Later, my guests enjoyed any number of crispy, crunchy treats, which is good if you're eating a Butterfinger, but not so much when it's supposed to be chicken and burgers. The fire was so out of control, he actually charred the corn wrapped in foil sitting on the bun warming shelf. Go big or go home, I suppose. Luckily, the cupcakes were perfect. Thanks, Cheyenne. Can I have my free cupcake now? And if you don't think that worked, I can assure you, Cheyenne gave me a free cupcake for the shout out in the blog. Anyone wants to mail me a cupcake, I'll take it from you. DM me so I can give you my physical address. I would love a cupcake. The weekend came, and as I have previously reported, my new normal Saturday routine involves me chauffeuring the dad to town. Mr. Daisy, he is not. This particular Saturday, we had to go get his truck weighed as he cannot find his registration papers with the weight listed, and this is a requirement for a license plate in California as they consider all pickup trucks, regardless of their use, to be commercial vehicles. Yes, the bureaucracy in the land of the heathen is enough to make a good Baptist talk about somebody, do you hear me? Lately, I have been refusing to run some of his errands, hoping to force him out of his recliner and into the community at large to no avail. Now that I've sold my recently paid off car to my sister and I have yet to decide what mode of transport I would choose, I must depend upon the truck as my chariot. Of course, the dad has seized upon the situation with the glee of a cheating diabetic who finds a gallon of chocolate ice cream with no one to stop them from eating every bite. Not that that happened. It's purely conjecture at this point. Although the fact the trash can was emptied into the bin outside while I was at work is suspicious. On a positive note, yay for him for leaving the house if only to venture to the curb. The reason I'm giving you the backstory is we had a very interesting discussion on the way to get weighed. It involved the level of macho of various cooking oils, if you can believe it. When we grilled out for July 4th, I invited people from work. Per my father, the attendees were 3 geeks, me included, 2 macho men, him included, and 1 lady. One of my managers is an intimidatingly large person. He looks like a Hell's Angel, but is one of the kindest people I've ever met. Imagine Gandhi on a Harley, but less hateful. Seriously. When I asked the dad why he felt I was a geek, not that I was arguing, I was simply curious. He said everything about me was geeky, right down to the groceries in your pantry. When I asked por ejemplo, which is Spanish, he said, what? When I repeated for example, he cited my purchase of grapeseed oil as geeky. So to school you, the redneck scale of macho for cooking oils. Just in case you were wondering, and even if you weren't, I have decided I must know it, so do you. Sunflower oil is sissy. Grapeseed oil is geeky. Safflower oil, what the H-E-double-L is a safflower? You mean sunflower? Or said it was sissy. Peanut oil. Squirrely, except for fried chicken. Remember that place in Clarksville, Texas called Peanut Fried Chicken? It was good. It really was good. Olive oil. Sounds fancy, so probably sissy. Vegetable oil. Alright, I guess. Motor oil from an old lawnmower. Macho. Just kidding. What he actually said was, if you're not going to take this serious, why are we talking about it? When I asked what kind of oil he found appropriately masculine, he said, grease with bacon. Aren't grease and vegetable oil roughly the same thing? How's oil and grease the same thing? You don't have them check the grease in your car every 3,000 miles, do you? Noticing my confusion, he muttered, knowing you probably do. Where'd you come from again? Your loins, old man, don't remind me. The frequency of odd conversations in my house is on par with the level of cholesterol in my father's blood, which is comparable to a really good credit score. Like 0% financing good, y'all. Pray if you feel it's appropriate. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.